Okay, so we're drowning in information, right? Especially with tech. New stuff all the time.
Constantly. It's hard to keep up.
Exactly. And it's tough to know what actually, matters. What makes a real difference to how you use your computer day to day.
Beyond just the spec sheet.
Right. Which is why we're doing this. We're going to dive deep into one specific piece of kit today.
Okay. What have we got?
The Samsung 990 PRO NVMe M.2 SSD. Specifically, the 2 TB PCIe 4.0 version. Heard a lot about this one.
Ah, yes. The 990 PRO, definitely a heavy hitter in the storage world.
So our plan isn't just reading off numbers. We want to figure out what makes this thing tick, the engineering behind it.
Makes sense.
And crucially, who actually benefits most? Like, is it worth it for you listening right now? How do those speeds translate in the real world?
Good questions. Because the numbers are impressive, but context is everything.
Yeah. We'll touch on gaming, content creation, maybe even just everyday stuff. Plus, Samsung's whole reputation for, reliability.
That's always a big factor with storage. You want something that lasts.
Totally. So let's get into it. Samsung's been in the storage game forever, right? What's the core promise with this 990 PRO?
Well, Samsung has, they've really built a legacy. And the 990 PRO isn't just another small step. It feels like a culmination.
Okay.
It's aimed squarely at people pushing their systems hard. Gamers, definitely. Creators, anyone who just hates waiting.
Hates waiting, yeah. I think that's most of us.
Yeah.
You mentioned speed. Those numbers are pretty wild. What are we actually looking at?
Right. The headlines are sequential reads up to 7,450 megabytes per second and writes up to 6,900.
Whoa. Okay. That's fast.
It is fast.
Yeah.
And that speed comes directly from the PCIe 4.0 interface it uses.
Right. PCIe 4.0. So compared to older tech like SATA or even PCIe 3.0.
It's a huge jump. Think of PCIe 3.0, which was already way faster than SATA. PCIe 4.0 essentially doubles the bandwidth again per lane.
Doubles it. Okay.
And the 990 PRO uses 4 lanes. So it's not just a faster pipe. It's like a multi-lane superhighway for your data.
So it can handle more traffic, basically.
Exactly. More commands at once, lower latency. It can sustain those high speeds even when you're really hammering it. That takes some serious engineering in the controller and the flash memory itself.
So it's not just the road, it's how Samsung's drive actually drives on that road. What's the magic inside letting it use all that bandwidth?
Yeah, that's where Samsung having everything in-house really helps. It's the combination.
Okay.
They're using their latest VNAND 8th generation stuff. It's denser, more power efficient, accesses data quicker. And that's paired with their own custom controller, the Pascal controller. It's designed specifically for this NAND.
So they're optimized together.
Precisely, which allows for much more parallel processing. We're talking higher IOPS input-output operations per second.
IOPS, right. That's the small random stuff.
Exactly.
Oh.
Not just the big file transfers, but all the little reads and writes that make your whole system feel snappy, booting up, opening apps. A lot of drives might hit high sequential speeds, but stumble on those random operations. The 990 PRO is really strong there. That's a key difference.
Okay. Sounds impressive internally.
Yeah.
Physically, it's that M.2 2280 stick-of-gum shape.
Yep, that's the one. 22 millimeters wide, 80 long. Standard for modern motherboards and laptops now.
And fitting it in. Pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, super simple. Slots right into the M.2 slot on the motherboard. One screw holds it down. If you've ever, swapped RAM or a graphics card, it's even easier. Quick and painless.
Okay. Now, with all that speed, heat, that's always a thing with NVMe drives, isn't it? Does this specific model come with a heatsink?
Good point. This particular one, the MZ-V9P20BW, doesn't have one built in. Samsung does sell a version with a heatsink, though.
Right. So do most people need one?
For a lot of users, probably not, especially if your motherboard has its own M.2 cooling, those little heat spreaders. That's pretty common now.
Okay.
But, and this is important, if you push it really hard constantly, like long video renders, massive file transfers, maybe super long gaming sessions, it will get hot.
And then it throttles. Slows down.
Exactly. Thermal throttling, it protects itself by reducing performance. So if your case doesn't have great airflow or no built-in M.2 cooling, adding a separate heatsink, probably a good idea to make sure you consistently get those top speeds.
Makes sense. Keep it cool to keep it fast.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk gaming. This is a big one for people looking at high-end SSDs.
Absolutely.
How does all this tech, the speed, the low latency, actually make games better?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
The loading times are just, well, almost gone sometimes. Seriously. Remember waiting ages for big open worlds to load?
Oh, yeah. Go make a sandwich time.
Right. With this, whether it's booting up something huge like, say, Cyberpunk or Starfield,
Right.
or just jumping into a quick multiplayer match, it's almost instant.
Wow.
The responsiveness is just, you notice it immediately,
Dang.
especially coming from an older SATA SSD or even a PCIe 3.0 drive. It's night and day sometimes.
So faster loading screens, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
But does it help in the game? Like any competitive edge or just smoother overall?
That's a great question. It's not just about the loading screens, though that's nice. It's about how games stream assets now.
Okay, like textures and stuff.
Exactly. Those high rate speeds really help with texture streaming, loading big map sections on the fly, especially with tech like Microsoft's direct storage starting to get used more.
Direct storage.
Yeah.
Right, that lets the game talk straight to the SSD.
Pretty much, yeah. Bypasses the CPU for some of that data loading, makes things much faster. So you get less of that annoying pop-in, where textures suddenly appear.
Ugh, yeah, hate that. Or stutters when you enter a new area.
Exactly. The 990 PRO smooths that out dramatically. It keeps feeding the game data super fast, so everything feels more seamless, more immersive. Seconds, not long waits.
So less waiting, more playing, and smoother playing, too. Sounds good.
For competitive players, yeah, getting into the action faster might be a tiny edge. For everyone else, it just makes the whole experience better, more fluid.
Okay, but what if the rest of your system isn't like cutting edge? Could an older CPU or not enough RAM hold the 990 PRO back?
That's a really smart point. Yes, your SSD is part of a whole system.
Right.
If you pair this super fast drive with, say, a really old processor or very little RAM, yeah, you won't see its absolute max potential. The rest of the system becomes the bottleneck.
Makes sense.
The good thing is, PCIe 4.0 gives you headroom for the future, especially as direct storage becomes more common, taking load off the CPU. But yeah, if your PC is quite old overall,
Maybe upgrade the CPU or RAM first.
it might give you a bigger overall boost initially. But even in an older system, upgrading from a hard drive or SATA SSD to this, still a massive improvement in responsiveness and load times. It's often the single biggest feel upgrade you can make.
Gotcha. Okay, so huge for gamers. Let's switch gears. Content creators, video editors, designers, 3D artists, they move massive files.
Yeah.
What's in it for them?
Right. For professionals, time is literally money. First off, the 2 TB capacity is often a really good size. 4K, 6K, even 8K video files are enormous.
Tell me about it. They eat storage.
They really do. So having 2 TB gives you breathing room for big projects. But the write speeds are just as critical here.
Why the write speed specifically?
Think about editing video. You're constantly scrubbing timelines, applying effects, rendering previews. That's a ton of reading and writing to the drive.
Okay.
The 990 PRO handles that heavy I/O without breaking a sweat. It means your storage isn't slowing down your editing software or your creative flow.
So less waiting for the software to catch up.
Exactly. And that translates directly into time saved. Think about transferring huge media libraries or exporting that final project.
Yeah, exports can take forever.
On slower drives, yeah. 100 gigabit video export could take ages. With the 990 PRO, you're shaving significant minutes off tasks like that, maybe even more.
And minutes add up over a project.
Absolutely. If you save, say, 10, 15 minutes here and there throughout the day, that's hours saved by the end of the week. It really changes the calculation. Is this an expense or an investment in productivity?
Good way to put it. What about multitasking? Pros often have like 5 intense programs running.
That's another area where it shines. The high IOPS and that efficient controller mean it handles simultaneous demands really well.
So you could be, rendering video?
Yeah, rendering a 3D scene, maybe transcoding footage in another app, compiling code, moving big files to a server, all at once.
And the drive keeps up. No bottleneck.
Pretty much. It's designed to handle that kind of parallel workload without choking. So for pros who can't afford to sit around waiting, it's really valuable. Keeps things moving.
Definitely sounds like a pro tool. But what about, the rest of us? Regular users, maybe browsing, office stuff, occasional photo editing. Is this just complete overkill?
Haha, yeah. I mean, on paper, maybe it looks like overkill for just browsing or writing documents.
Right.
But there's an interesting aspect. Efficiency. Samsung actually managed to make this drive more power efficient than previous generations.
Oh, really? How does that help?
Well, for laptop users, it's a noticeable win. Less power draw means potentially better battery life. You get top-tier speed without tanking your battery as quickly.
Okay, that's a nice bonus for laptops.
And even in a desktop, lower power means less heat generated during light tasks. The controller is smart. It scales things back when it's idle. That helps keep the whole system running cooler.
So even if you're not pushing it hard, there are still some subtle benefits.
Definitely. And just day to day, everything feels quicker. Windows booting in seconds, opening big apps like Photoshop almost instantly. It's one of those things you kind of get used to really fast because the slowness just disappears. You don't notice those little pauses anymore until you use a slower computer again.
Yeah, it spoils you.
It really does. It just makes the whole experience smoother, more responsive, even for everyday tasks.
Yeah.
It elevates the whole feel.
And thinking long term, if you invest in this, you want it to last. Reliability, maintenance.
Samsung has a strong reputation here. This drive comes with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty standard for high-end SSDs, but still good reassurance.
5 years. Okay.
And the endurance rating is really high. They measure it in terabytes written, or TBW. For this 2TB model, it's rated for 1,200 TBW.
1,200 terabytes. That's a lot of data.
It's a huge amount. Most users will never come close to writing that much data. It's designed to handle heavy use for many, many years.
Good to know. What about software? Does it come with anything to manage it?
Yeah, Samsung has their Magician software. It's actually pretty handy.
What does it do?
Lets you update the drive's firmware easily, which is important sometimes. You can monitor the health, check the remaining endurance, optimize performance with things like over-provisioning.
Okay.
And it can do secure erase if you ever need to wipe it completely. It's quite user-friendly, not bloated. Just helps you keep the drive running well.
Nice. So wrapping things up then, this Samsung 990 PRO, the 2TB one, sounds like it really lives up to the hype.
I'd say so, yeah. It's an outstanding performer. Those speed promises, it hits them. The responsiveness is definitely there.
It's a true powerhouse.
It is. No, it's not the cheapest PCIe 4.0 drive out there. You're paying a premium.
Right.
But what you're getting for that premium is a really well-engineered balance. Top-tier speed, yes, but also solid efficiency and that Samsung reliability factor.
You're paying for the whole package.
Exactly. The VNAND, the custom controller, the warranty, the software support, it all adds up. It's a superb upgrade choice for serious gamers and definitely for professionals pushing those creative workloads.
So if you want a drive that's going to make your system feel fast and modern, not just now, but for years, it seems like a pretty safe bet.
I think so. It removes storage bottlenecks, makes everything feel snappier. It's definitely one of the best, if not the best, PCIe 4.0 drives you can get right now. A solid premium choice.
Okay, so here's something to think about as we finish up. We live in this world where our digital stuff, our games, our videos, our work, it demands more and more from our machines, right?
Constantly increasing, yeah.
And our time feels more precious than ever. So when you invest in something foundational, like a really fast SSD like this, how does that fundamentally change things? Not just what you can do, but how you actually experience creating or playing or just being in that digital space.